make an opening statement.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't intend to speak nearly as long as Mr. Dean did. Because frankly, this whole case is about rumor, gossip, speculation, and innuendo, and ultimately, the state's bold conclusions about what they say happened but can't prove. Unquestionably, this is an emotional case. I know that. I have 5 children, 4 grandchildren. So I understand how emotional this can be. But this case can't be decided based on emotions. It has to be decided on facts and evidence presented in this courtroom. It can't be determined by emotions or their rumors and their gossip and their conclusions. And in the end, what you will determine is that's exactly the foundation of the state's claims. Bunch of conclusions, bunch of declarations, unsupported by actual evidence. These declarations about she did this at 1 o'clock, she killed Quinton. She drove here, and then all of that are their conclusions, what they have decided the evidence shows. But what is important in a trial is this witness stand, where witnesses testify and evidence is presented. It's not what some lawyer says. It's not what the state declares the evidence to be, and that includes this discussion about the statements. Mr. Dean has his ideas of what those statements represent, but that's your job. And it's not to simply rely on the state's conclusions about what they mean. The state has a conclusion. The core conclusion is that Leilani Marie Simon murdered her child. The evidence will simply not support that bold conclusion. That is why, after we've heard all the evidence and all the argument, the evidence will lead you to one place, and that is a finding with respect to murder and concealing the death of another of not guilty. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Purse. This would probably be a good time to break for lunch, and then we'll resume testimony after the lunch break. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a time for lunch break. It is, the time now is 12:10. I'm going to ask that you report back at 1:20. We got to give some time for them to get to lunch and get back. Let's go ahead and make that 1:30. It's 12:15 now. Let's make it 1:30. That'll give some time. I want to be realistic about what we do. When you go, please remember not to discuss the case, not to do any research on the case, and not to talk with each other about the case. All right? And with that, you're excused.
Jury's exiting.
Okay, thank you. Before we leave, there is one matter that I'd like to take up. Juror 7, who came in a little late earlier today, and she'd also indicated after we had selected the jury that she had some hearing issues or may have some hearing issues, and she provided what the court marked as Court Exhibit 2. Despite her showing the document, which really indicates to me that there is speech understanding in background noise within limits. So we chose to keep her here on the jury today. I just wanted to note for the record that she appears to be responding to all commands made verbally. When I asked each of the jurors to write their name on the front page so that they can begin making notes on the back page, she did so immediately. And I say all this to say that she seems to be doing fine, and I just want to put that on the record.
I would concur, Judge. I've noticed the same thing, and I would concur, Judge. I noticed the same thing, and I got the same conclusions from the note that we got during the jury selection. So, I note for the record the same thing.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Dean, anything?
I agree, Your Honor, and I would just add that during jury selection, when this issue came up, when she brought it to our attention, the reason that I did not push the issue about asking her whether she would like to wear a headset to amplify the volume is that during that colloquy with the court and with counsel, she was being questioned in a very normal tone, and by Mr. Hilliard in particular, and actually kind of a soft, low tone, and just didn't seem to have any problem whatsoever with hearing what people were saying.